So the goal is to make a wallet that looks better in 10 years than it does today. How is that possible? Let me tell you. First, let me give a quick intro. My name is Nick. I run Coastline Leather Goods, this little boutique leather studio here in the San Francisco Bay Area. So how is it possible to make a wallet that looks better in 10 years than it does today? Because most wallets after 10 years end up kind of looking like this. Right? They're just completely torn apart, ragged, and disgusting. Well, it really depends on two things. Number one, of course, is craftsmanship, something I work very hard at, but the other is leather quality. So let me take a minute just to kind of break down leather quality for you. I'm going to kind of speak in broad strokes here, but generally there's sort of three different qualities of leather. There's genuine leather, top grain leather, and full grain leather, okay? Genuine leather is sort of a deceiving term because it talks about leather that is real, it is real leather, but it's not high quality. Oftentimes it's a composite of different pieces of leather that have just sort of been molded together, but it's definitely not the highest quality. And anytime you see genuine leather used in marketing, you should be a little suspicious and just assume that it's likely not the highest grade leather available. Top grain leather is better than genuine leather in that it's at least a single piece of leather. And often what they do with this single piece of leather is they're using the strong part of the leather and then adding something on top of it. So that can often be a coating, a wax coating, paint, some sort of protective coating. So the benefit is you're getting a very uniform top coat. The downside is that top coat can often crack and wear. And you've seen old leather products that are cracking and coming apart. They're still strong, but visually they don't look very good. Finally, there's full grain leather. This is the highest quality. It is a leather hide from top to bottom. Generally no coatings on top or anything like that. And what's great about this is not only is it the strongest, it's the most true, meaning you can see the whole hide. You can see blemishes. You can see sometimes brand marks. Here's a piece of, this is like a purple full grain leather hide. But like you can see like dark spots, you know, this is a real animal hide through and through. Now this one's been dyed, but just because it's been dyed, there's no coating on it. And you'll be able to tell the quality of full grain leather when you smell it, when you touch it, when you feel it. It just feels real. Now moving beyond leather qualities, let's talk briefly about tanning. Because in general, again, I'm kind of condensing and speaking in broad strokes, but in general there are two types of tanning when it comes to leather. When it comes to leather tanning, you have chrome tan and you have veg tan, okay? Chrome tan is a type of tanning that uses chromium and other chemicals to tan the leather hide. The benefit of chrome tan is that it tans very quickly, which means it's generally a lower price point. People who are new to leathercraft or even, apparel that's being sold out in the market is generally, not always, going to be a little bit of a lower price point because chrome tan is just cheaper to make and faster to make. The downside is the chemicals in chrome tan in general are not terribly environmentally friendly. On the flip side, veg tan is a much more environmentally friendly process. To tan leather using the veg tan process, where it's not actually vegetables, it's actually using things like tree bark and tree tannins to tan the leather. This is one of the oldest tanning practices in the world. Some say it dates back all the way to ancient Egypt. I don't know if that's true. I like to believe it's true. The benefit of a veg tan is that it results in a beautiful, durable, tanned leather hide that only gets better with age. The downside is it takes longer to tan, which means it's a bit more expensive. It's a premium type of leather. So chrome tan only takes 24 hours to tan. Veg tan can take up to a month to tan a piece of leather. Now when I say it ages beautifully, this is what I mean. Here's a wallet that I recently made that's made with a veg tan leather called Pueblo from Carlo Badalassi Tannery in Italy. So as you can see, this leather has kind of a matte finish, not super shiny. It's got a really cool pattern on it. It's got a certain color tone to it, kind of a light brown, and it's beautiful. Now I'm going to show you that same leather. This is a different wallet, but or a different wallet design, but the same leather after about a year of use. So this is the same leather after about a year of use. You can see it's darkened a bit. It's gained an incredible sheen, and it's really kind of taken on the shape of the cards and everything that was in it. So that is what we call patina. And the beautiful thing about patina is I could sell the exact same wallet to 3 different people, and after 1 year, each one of those wallets is going to look different. It's going to age and patina depending on the person who owns it and how they use it. And that is what makes veg tan leather so cool and so beautiful. And it's why I choose to make everything I make here with full grain veg tan leather. Now, from a design perspective, there are things that other leather crafters do to make their wallets beautiful and functional in the short term, but don't necessarily work great in the long term. So the first I want to talk about is lining. A lot of leather wallet makers will put lining in here. Why? Because it makes taking the bills in and out a little bit easier, okay? But the problem is lining doesn't last very long. After a couple years of use, the lining is going to rip, it's going to start to degrade. It's going to start to degrade, it's going to start coming apart from the rest of the wallet, and it works well in the short term, not in the long term. The other thing is edge coat. I do not use edge coat. I choose instead to take the time to sand and burnish my edges so that they look beautiful right out the gate and continue to get more beautiful over time. As you can see with this wallet here, the more you pull a wallet in and out of your pocket, the more those edges are going to continue to burnish, and it's going to look really, really nice. Edge coat might look great out of the box, but it will peel over time and just end up looking really gross. So even 2 wallets that are both made with veg tan leather, one has edge coat and lining, one doesn't. Out of the box, maybe the one with lining and edge coat is going to be better, but after 5 or 10 years, the one without edge coat and lining is going to be far superior because it won't have any disgusting, degrading components falling off of the wallet. So there you go. That's how you make a wallet that looks better after 10 years. High quality, full grain, veg tan leather, and making it in a way where none of the components are going to degrade and fall off after time. I hope this was informative. There are rabbit holes you can fall down when researching tanning processes and leather types. This was very much a surface level overview of this information, but hopefully it was helpful. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.